That sort of was hard to say.
Appointment only.
Here's a favourite old bush song, and we'd like you all to sing along.
The old gum tree.
Welcome to the Thunda Down Under. The all-Aussie alternative and metal music showcase.
Fly a flag on your aerial.
And how about your host, eh? Kane Villa Fella. Well, g'day there, guys, and welcome to the second episode of the Thunda Down Under. I've been on a few adventures since the last show, and one of them included catching up for a chat with some of Tassie's up-and-coming homegrown talent here in Hobart at a live metal showcase at the Moona Arts Centre featuring 4 of Tassie's finest. I had the great pleasure of interviewing a newly established band called Shedding at their first gig together. A metalcore band by the name of Black Serenade, of which we have already shared on the premiere. The showcase was headlined by the mighty Zeolite, and I'm hoping to arrange a time to interview with those guys as well. Something to look forward to in a later show. And the fourth band was the Tassie Tech Death Tyrants, the Absolution sequence. So I've got a 2.5 hour show for you this time, guys, and we're going to chuck in segments from that interview with the band's frontman, Sean Wells. So let's put you in the deep end of the shitter, right off the bat. Persistence of Memory, the Absolution sequence. You're on Front Row Radio with the Thunda Down Under.
The hourglass has a protector.
Alright, so I'm Sean from the Absolution sequence. We're from Hobart, Tasmania, in the big country of Australia, little island south of the mainland. And we play technical death metal. Alright, now my favourite Australian beer. This is a good question. It's basic. It's real basic, man. Real basic. I like pure blonde. I like it because it's pretty bland, but it's not weighty.
Easy drinking, yeah?
Easy drinking.
Yeah.
Easy drinking, yeah. That's how I feel. I like a session if I'm going to drink, so...
Are they low carb?
Yeah, low carb.
Low carb?
Yeah, man.
Look at that.
You know,
Good for the thighs, man.
That's right, man. You're not losing too many games, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Excellent. No worries.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. Love it.
I'm a little closed-minded. I'm a little closed off to the land of life. I'm a little behind it. It's a little undecidable in the end. 'Cause I'm waiting to find it. 'Cause I'm thinking what will happen in the end. I left you, you left me. You're still standing on the street. You're hurting, you hurt me. You tried to telephone my kind of mind in your head. Telephone 'cause I can see you and me. Telephone my kind of mind in your head. Telephone 'cause I can see you and me. I'm a little closed corner. I'm a little concert for the land alive. It's a lot of unminded. It's a lot of lie in the bend of time. I left you, you left me. You're still standing on the. You're hurting, you hurt me. You tried to telephone my kind of mind in your head. Telephone 'cause I can see you and me. And I tried to rely on the things that you said. And I picked up the page of 1,000 lines. Telephone my kind. Telephone my kind and mine, your head. Telephone 'cause I couldn't see you and me. Telephone my kind and mine in your head. Telephone 'cause and I tried to rely on the things that you said. And I picked up a page of 1,000 lines. Telephone my kind and mine in your head. Telephone 'cause I can see you and me.
You, this is your boy Jeff T, and I'm listening to Thunder Down Under with Kane Vella Fella right here on Front Row Radio.
I've been looking for you, searching for something new. You keep my feet on the ground as you make my world turn around. Keep sending me signals
classic Yothu Yindi, World Turning. And we kicked the show off there with the Absolution sequence with their latest single, Persistence of Memory. Then a bit of genre whiplash. We had The Cruel Sea. That was a track taken off of their latest album, Straight Into the Sun. That single is named as per the album, Straight Into the Sun. Those guys reformed back in 2023. It was 2001 when they last released an album. Pretty good news, and they're back up and touring in Australia in support of their album release. Then second from last of that segment, Scatterbrain with their track Telephone My. Some good old Aussie alt rock there. Dizzy Planet coming at ya all the way from Fremantle, Chains. And stepping back into the interview with Sean of the Absolution sequence.
So, strengths in our music. So, I would say, like, a major strength to me anyway is like the mix of technical buggery and a lot of slow, emotive sort of stuff and chuggy kind of stuff. So, touching all ranges and emotions, as many as we can.
Yeah.
I feel like that's our strength, and I guess that's also why it kind of makes us a little bit unique, I guess. But yeah, that's how I feel anyway, and the attention to detail.
Nice, cool. You can definitely hear it in your stuff, like lots of time intervals, change-ups. It's very eclectic, and it's great. Yeah, it makes for very entertaining listening. And then it challenges as well, like when you least expect it. Like
it's still a bit uncomfortable, you know. Like, and I think that's a vibe we've brought it, especially on the last EP.
That's the idea of metal, isn't it? Challenge the listener.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what defines metal from pop.
That's right. Like a quick like, oh, what was that? Like that's the reaction we are aiming for. So
cool.
Glad that came through.
Cheers.
No worries.
I see the city and it isn't what it used to be. A million houses go
all up on the Thunder Down Under on Front Row Radio.
So I'm gonna fight this, I'm gonna ignite this, I'm coming for
Dizzy Planet with their new single, Chains. With unhinged guitars, melodic power, and thunderous drums, the song channels the anxiety-inducing frustration of being stuck in a cycle that keeps you from moving forward. Then we had The Living End, All Torn Down, followed by Calatone with their track Firestarter, a band hailing from southeast Queensland, poised to release their debut EP in 2025. Guys, keep an eye out for that one. The final track was one from a Sydney-based all-star band called Floating Me, featuring Lucius Borich from Cog, John Stockman of Carnival, a few members of Scary Mother, a track off their 2011 debut album. That track was called Spirals.
Spring makes me ashamed of myself. I should have said, could have done. I could have been a pretender is what I am. Yeah, I've read the books, studied the looks, but it's left me without action. And my point is that I have one. I said I have one. You got one? This world and its failings isn't gonna be enough. I gotta find the point, ditch the joint and have a glass of water. Yeah, I'm a loser, she said, and I bought in. So I guess there must be truth to the rumor. My strength is that I have some. I said I have some. I said, come down, smash up in yada as you come down.
This is Sean from the Absolution sequence. You're listening to the Thunda Down Under on Front Row Radio. All right, so favourite gigs we've played. First off, I got a recent memory. One of my favourite shows I played was a little floor show in Toowoomba, our last show that we had before today. And I broke, I think, 3 ribs from smashing myself on a foldback.
Going too hard, man.
It was just too hard. We were playing with a bunch of hardcore bands, so it was just chaos, and we're just like trying to go as hard as these young like hardcore bands.
Where were you guys in the set list?
So we were second last because we were on tour with Warbear at the time, and it was very fun show, very fucking painful.
So you felt like you had to step it up a notch and put a bit of a hardcore element?
Yeah. We definitely thrust into it. I'll send you the video later.
That's dedication for sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So
how are you recovering?
Oh, very well now.
Yeah.
I felt like my ribs were shifting around for a couple of months there, but it's a slow recovery. But it's
not a lot
now.
You can do about it, are there?
No, strap up and stay still.
Grin and bear
it. But other than that, probably Nile, man.
Oh wow, yeah.
Nile at Unibar, that was a great show, and getting to see one of our idols.
Pretty epic,
That
for
was
sure.
insane. We played it 2 hours too. Like that's our set wasn't my favourite part about it. It was just getting to see the boys kill it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It was, did you get to hang out with them or have a
I
big
didn't
chat?
talk to anyone because I was nervous.
Yeah, okay.
But Stephen Mason, he is
in the presence of gods.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. I was like, bow down. That's how it felt. Like I felt anyway. Like, Mason, it's Carl is his guitar teacher, so he's already. He talks to him on stuff all the time. They're very familiar. But I was not having the best time with it. Just idolise these guys. But it was a great show.
It's hard not to fan out, isn't it, when you're in the presence of people like that?
Oh,
but what an iconic gig! Like that must have just been
It was insane, man. It was insane. I just still can't believe that it happened. Like if a band like Noel even come to Hobart is huge.
Yeah.
And again, to do a set that long and it was just like a gift.
You're just coming to Australia, let alone Tasmania.
Never expected it, and like it almost wasn't going to happen. But we're very glad.
And how did you just hook that up?
So I'm not exactly sure like the actual story, but they had a tour booked for the whole country. Yeah. And one of our good friends, Will, was in contact with the same people who were booking that whole tour.
Good guy to know.
I think they pushed for a Hobart show, and we were the first people who took the name out.
That's awesome.
And I guess them being familiar with Mason already, it just kind of it helped a lot. Yeah. So that's how I believe it.
So what about Will? Has he hooked you up with things like similar or like a few gigs? Or?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, he's like he does so much down here and on the mainland stuff. Part of Grindhead Productions. They're awesome. They actually put on a show for my hip hop crew as well, playing with a bunch of metal bands, doing a little Tassie tour. So he's a really good contact.
Cool. Grindhead, eh?
Yeah, Grindhead. Awesome guy.
Definitely heard the name and a lot of good bands, and great to be affiliated with Grindhead for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Cool.
The Thunder Down Under.
naturally smart-ass language. Like you ask someone how they are in Australia, they don't tell you how they are. They tell you what they're not, and you got to guess the rest. Okay, mate, how you going? Oh, not bad. What have you been doing? Oh, not much. Where is this place? Oh, it's not far. When are we going? Oh, not long now. How much was that, mate? Wasn't cheap.
The Thunder Down Under.
Spring haze, teasers and swim days, open wide to the sky. Experimenting with our newfound green thumb face. Did you find yourself to sigh? Did you taste the garden fresh night? Do you see hope on the horizon? When your eyes are narrowed, squinting toward the light, did you notice they were wider? But
Rosemary there by Kitchen Witch. These guys are a red dust desert rock outfit from South Australia. Twists of femme-driven heavy rock grooves with some extra low-end riffage to spare, dubbed as South Australia's response to the California desert stoner rock scene. The quartet continued to go from strength to strength with their uniquely Australian blend of blues, soul, 70s rock, desert psychedelia, and stoner metal doom. They have cast spells on audiences on stages across Australia with 1000 Mods, The Sword, Brant Bjork of Caius, Earthless, Samsara Blues Experiment, Mammal, and many more. And speaking of Mammal, we kicked that segment off with a Mammal track called Smash the Pinata. This was a single off of their first album called The Majority. That was released in 2008. We've recently seen the return of their frontman Ezekiel Ox to the band and some new material from them, a new album called The Penny Drop. That was in fact released about mid to late last year, and they've been touring in support of it. Those guys are definitely a must-see live act, guys. And second up in that segment, we had Colloidal Silver, a stoner rock band hailing from Townsville, with their track Oceans. And in the middle, we had a classic from Pangea, a Brisbane Australian punk and metal band with an all-star cast, being Dave Atkins of Resin Dogs and Wolfmother on the drums, Paul Bromley from George on guitar, Ben Ellie from Regurgitator, vocals and bass with those guys. That track was titled Colossal.
Ozzy, Ozzy, Ozzy! Oi, oi, oi! What's up? It's Reese from We the Hollow in Brizzy, and you're listening to the Thunda Down Under on Front Row Radio.
We were once ordinary people. Some deemed it necessary for us to be taken and put to use by those with a common greed. Although we can't return to what we once had, us hollow ones are here to stay.
Favourite Australian influences, I would say first and foremost, Psychroptic. I know it's an obvious one, being a death metal band, Tasmania, but yeah, Psychro, definitely. A lot of local influence, actually. I think a band that influenced at least me and Casado would be Redemption Denied. They aren't around anymore. They all still play in bands around Hobart. A few of them do. But huge influence on us.
Any shout-outs to any of the bands that they're affiliated with still? Or?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, right, so, Hate or More would be one. Great band there from Victoria. And Depart, of course. Great Tasmanian black metal band.
Yeah,
those two.
So there's some of them still in Tasmania.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then they've shot over to the mainland, hey?
Yeah, that's it. And Jed actually still lives in Tassie. I think he just does the trip up. I'm not sure if they actually, it's still a thing or not, but yeah, I kind of hope so because they're great band.
Cool. It sounds like it's worth a look into anyway. So
absolutely. And while you're at it, if you like the old school kind of metalcore sound, Ending Atrophy is another one. It's a band that was an offshoot of Redemption Denied and back and forth, but it's another huge one, so check them out as well. I don't think...
Yeah. Where are they at?
They all from Hobart, but they haven't been around for a while anymore. That was just kind of another old band that shot up. There's a bunch of recordings online. I think I've got a few EPs, but definitely worth checking out.
Nice. Okay. Thanks for the scoop.
No worries.
Sean Wells there from the Absolution sequence, firing off a few of his favourite Australian influences.
Ozzy! Oi! This is Stephen Cuby from Project Cyberstorm, and you're listening to the Thunder Down Under with a very special multi-talented host, Kane!
The guy who does our production and recording is Chris Themelko of Orpheus Omega, Anchor Entertainment. And Precision Triggers. I'll shout out his other business as well.
Yep.
He's our manager and producer, and he is in Melbourne. But yeah, he's another great guy, great person to be in touch with. Absolute sweetheart. And he does great mixes. He's excellent at what he does.
Okay. Is he working under a company name or?
Yes. So it's Monolith Studios. His studio. Yeah, somewhere in Victoria. I haven't been there yet.
But he obviously works nationwide and
absolutely,
possibly internationally. Yeah,
tours everywhere. Orpheus have played with some of the biggest bands in the world. Toured most of Europe and Japan and stuff. And so it'd be awesome to go out on.
Cool. How long you been utilising his services for?
A few years now. I think the first thing we ever sent to him was our EP Silent King.
Yeah.
Or it might have been Subsidence, but one of those two. Yeah, it was pretty much from our second release onwards. He's been our guy. So, for a long time now, And
what was that process like? You send him your EP or your tracks, and then he got in touch with you guys and said, he'd like to work with you guys, or?
Yeah, so what happened there was Orpheus actually came down for a show back at the Brisbane Hotel when I was still around, and what happened was we kind of just befriended them, and over time just wanted to play more shows. Found out he's a producer as well, and it was kind of a natural progression from there. Yeah. So that's how it was, just friends and playing in the same circles, really. Yeah. And he's always been great to work with. Next time we head up, we're all going to be going up to record, but most of the time we kind of just bedroom record our stuff and send it up for mix and master. But I think that whole process is going to change soon.
Okay, so going on site to the studio and doing the whole process.
Yeah, exactly.
On site.
That's right. And I won't speak too much about that at the moment, but
that's
going to be our process from now on, thankfully.
Excellent. Yeah. Cool. That sounds good.
Yeah.
The Thunder Down Under. Searching for an essence, but I'm lost inside my head, where I spent every waking moment, wishing I was dead, for fuming and me away from here, for fuming and wipe away my tears.
Remedy Affliction with their track Pittsburgh. Starting off that segment, We the Hollow, their track Here to Stay. A hard-hitting 5-piece masked metal band spawned in southeast Queensland. The band's unique and dynamically aggressive rhythm is coupled with their horrifying aesthetic to create a primal and engaging stage presence. We the Hollow combine their influences and filter it through a lens of 00's new metal and metalcore, creating a unique reflection on each member's journey through the Hollow. Then we chucked in a track from the powerhouse electronic rock band Pendulum. That track was titled The Tempest, and I think it's a pretty good example of their diversity, with that track particularly taking us on quite the adventure through their many styles. Then, guys, I had the great pleasure of showing off a very talented friend of mine by the name of Steza Cuby with his solo project Cyberstorm. That was one of his latest tracks, titled Abracadabra. Steza is a Tasmanian multi-instrumentalist who is super diverse in his skill sets, ranging from production, writing the music, playing the music, recording the music, and even shooting and editing his own video clips, which are well worth a look into. So jump on YouTube, subscribe to the Project Cyberstorm channel, and enjoy. Stepping it up a couple of notches. We're the devil here on the Thunder Down Under.
Let me break your chains, like I will break your face down.
Aussie!
Oi, oi, oi! This is Finn.
This is Anton.
And we're from the band Rise from Ashes, and you are listening to the Thunder Down Under on Front Row Radio.
Here with Sean from the Absolution sequence. Sean, what are your plans and goals for the future of the band?
Plans and goals for the future, probably release a whole bunch of new music, a bunch more interstate shows, and potentially get ourselves out of the country at some point this year, hopefully not, if not this year, next year. Yeah, just keep on keeping on, just grinding the same stuff we're doing now, just a lot more of it, and hopefully on a higher level by the end of the year.
Where you at with your discography now? You're working on a new album. Has that been released? Or
Oh no, so that's we've got a project at the moment. I can't say whether it's an EP or an album or anything yet. We're still kind of fleshing that out and seeing how far we can take it. But we're working on something at the moment. It will be our biggest project to date for sure.
Yeah,
it's not an album. It'll be our third or fourth EP.
Yeah,
one of them I don't know if you'd count it as one. It's 2 songs, but it's close enough to length.
Yeah,
I'd say our fourth EP if it's short enough.
Okay, yeah. Possibly an album.
Yes, possibly an album. Yeah. That's it. I can't say too much about it at the moment, but yes, cool. That's pretty much where we're at currently. Yeah.
All right, something to look forward to all the same.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, yeah.
I'm running out of time. I'm running on a feeling song. I'm running out of time.
getting heavier. So we started that segment with Where the Devil, their track Moments of Tangency. These guys are from Newcastle, where the Devil has made a name for itself by never sticking to the same metal subgenre. They are fired up and raring to bring all the blood, sweat, and strained muscles they can to the upcoming shows in Newcastle, Sydney, and Victoria. Look out for those guys if you're in the area. Definitely go check them out. Sounds like it will be a ripper. Then we had Melbourne-based band Rise from Ashes with their track titled Cursed. These guys are a gent-core / groovy metalcore band. We are focusing mainly on putting together new music for 2026 and are working alongside Outcast bookings on multiple shows for the future. Then, of course, a single from North Lane, Clockwork. And finishing up that section, a snazzy track from Snake Mountain, a band from southeast Queensland with their track Veins that was released in 2023. They have since released a fair bit of material. A couple to look out for and that will be on later shows is their tracks Ever Living and The Revenant. Absolute crushes.
Yeah.
have a go, you'll get a go. There's a fair go for those who have a go.
I haven't flip-flopped. I said no originally, then I said yes, then I have said no, and I've stuck to it.
Kids should go to school. That's what we're committed to. We don't support the idea of kids not going to school to participate in things that can be dealt with outside of school.
Yeah, it should be dealt with outside of school, but it's not being dealt with outside of school, and that's why we're striking.
The Thunder Down Under. Hallelujah.
Push your boy, George, boy,
First up there was Polaris with their track Vagabond, probably the largest circle pit I've ever seen at the Good Things Festival in 2022 when those guys played. I was on my way between stages to catch the mighty Soulfly, and I was stalled to speculate upon the massive circle pit that these guys had conjured. They were absolutely pumping the crowd. Then we had some brutal death from a band called Corpse Flesh and their track Rearranged with a 12 gauge, fronted by a guy from Yanchep, South Australia, a guy called Ewan Lambert. He is in a fair few music projects, some of which we're going to hear at a later date. He's also the manager of Ungrateful Dead Promotions, so a good guy to know if you're looking for some promo. Second track from the end there, All Monsters Are Human with their track Subconscious Soldier, a 5-piece from Melbourne, depressed misfits that specialize in heavy music for the ADHD generation. They describe themselves as new metalcore, blending elements of progressive metal, metalcore, hardcore, and hip-hop influences to create a truly original sound that is heavy and brutal, but also groovy. Our songs tackle issues of social isolation, physical and mental health, mass disenfranchisement, and identity. Can't help but hear some System of a Down vibes there. Then a track from the masters of Australian metal, Frankenbach, with their track Victims. You're on Front Row Radio with the Thunder Down Under.
Cause I got the munchies! I've been smoking dope! I got the munchies!
this is Ethan from Snakes, and you're listening to the Thunder Down Under on Front Row Radio.
This is a shitty language warning. There is shit language in this track. If you don't like it, cover your ears or go put the kettle on. Just kick that segment off with Karate. I got the munchies. The abomination of Aaron Mangano and Matty Ford there as a two-piece brutal slam band. That track was taken from their recently released self-titled debut album, an absolute testament to slam metal. Check it out if you're into that genre. Go get them on all your major streaming platforms. And speaking of Matt Ford, the man of many metal helmets, we then listened to another one of his projects, Christ Dismembered. Under the Cross was the title of that track, and they've just released a new album titled Of Vampiracy. I believe it means Ovum Vampiracy. And excitingly, they've just announced that they're on tour over to Tassie here. So I'm looking forward to catching up with Matt and confirming what the title of that album is all about and having a beer with him and a chinwag because it's been a long time coming. That's right, guys. Christ Dismembered and Atravatosis will be headlining a show at both Hobart and Launceston on two separate dates in August, being the 1st and the 2nd at the Altar Bar for Hobart, Gunners Arms for Launceston. We've got some pretty cool support acts too, some local boys. Black Serenade, we've heard a bit of those guys on the show. We're going to hear some more in future. Nosk, Teepsum, and Portcullis. I hope to meet you all there. Third track in that segment was a banger from the Mighty King Parrot, a classic from them called Epileptic Butcher. And we finished the segment up with one of my projects, Snakes. We are both here in Hobart, a studio-based two-piece with our track Liar.
Well, my devotion's to a pleasure so big I can't face it. I download a murdered Gordon Gecko. Money junkies, slip society, it's on again. Feel it now. Fascists beat behind them, living like a modern czar. All in, oh, here comes the hell again. All in, won't sound like a melody. All in, witness the oppression win. Ha! The might of our vibrations not allowed. I got to thinking again. That we can never be friends. You never hope. I never won't. Forget your sanity and get back in the saddle to play the destination game. Living on the pity, earning from the face. Fuck, make it look classy. I got to thinking again. That we can never be friends. I'm just so sick of nothing, not a zil, sick of the status quo. It's time to face the dojo. It's time to work out when your spirit comes home. When the thinker's been sold. When no point appealing to the man. When he gets the beatings daily. Pick up the brick, it's got the sound of a riot concerto. We ride the hip hop for the victims addicted to metal. Party time, we are the mouth of the ghetto. Move over, another piece of the puzzle that casts a red shadow. Point it, record it, remember to save it. Call it evidence against the pigs that pick the battle. We got a lease on the street, a landlord dead the rental. Ha! Fuck Mick Gatto. Fuck Mick Gatto.
I would like to shout out, of course, Zeolite, all the boys there, Greg from Bleeding Art Collective, our booking agent, again, Chris the Melko from Monolith Studios and Anchor Entertainment. I would also like to shout out some of our local influencers, people who helped us get to this point, Sam Dissington, Jared Sorbian, our mums being good people.
Don't want to leave that one out, do you?
Don't leave mums out. Don't leave mums out.
I'm interested to see how many people actually mention that one.
Yeah, that's it. I hope
good on you, man.
The mums, like our partners and stuff.
You've covered that, the main basis.
That's it, you know, but everyone else knows we appreciate them, so
yeah.
I'll leave it at that one for now, but yeah.
All right, man. That's about it. Thank you very much for your time.
This is Sean from the Absolution sequence. You're listening to The Thunda Down Under on Front Row Radio.
Aussie! 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 Oi, oi, oi! You're the
we just snuck in some Overreactor there with their track Mouth of the Ghetto. And wrapping it up there with the Absolution sequence, another one of their tracks, Built on Spines. Thank you very much to Sean Wells, the frontman of that band. I had the pleasure to have a chat with him. It's been great to showcase that interview. A shout out to Shedding and Black Serenade. I've got your interviews in the queue and ready for a future show. You might have noticed several invites to follow the Thunder Down Under Facebook page. This is because for some reason it keeps getting pulled. I'm trying to work a way around that issue. Hopefully I'm on top of it. And to clarify the schedule for the show, we're going to be running the Thunder Down Under every Sunday from 6:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, right here on Front Row Radio. Best thing you guys can do is keep sending those tracks to my email, which is posted on the Facebook page. Keep tuning in, share the link around, like and follow the Facebook page. Bear with me if the bloody gits keep pulling it. More importantly, if you liked anything you heard tonight, go give them a like and a follow on the socials. Buy a bloody album or something. Go to a show. Buy some merch. Make a mess in the pit. And support your Aussie comrades. The Thunder Down Under is reaching out for merch donations from Australian artists to be used as a part of a prize pool to be randomly distributed to our loyal listeners. The conditions to potentially win a prize will be the person must be following our Facebook page, they must be Australian, that's to minimise postage fees as our show and station is a non-for-profit organisation, and they must be listening to the monthly announcement on the show that will prompt them to DM me to exchange postage details. This will in turn generate followers and will assure that they translate as listeners. This drive is an attempt to maximize exposure for you as the artist. Any degree of donation, be it t-shirt, coolers, EPs, stickers, etc., will make great prize packs for our loyal listeners and will also generate interest in your music. DM me on Facebook, guys, if you're interested in making a kind donation for the cause. And here's to getting your name and your music out to the world. And to nod us out subtly, Melodicy Aquaplane. Until next time, guys, thanks for listening.
You moved so south and me alright. I've conquered my fear, now I'm hanging in the alpha state. Just about this way I'm down. Whoa. Swim take me through that mountain and I'll meet you at the top. I'm needing up and you're the person I'm thinking of. Reaching out for your hand, I'm afraid that it won't stop. It doesn't matter, I can hardly see you anyway. Now anyway, yeah, yeah, yeah. Alright.
Front Row Radio and the Thunder Down Under would like to acknowledge Australia's First Nations people as the traditional custodians of this land. You've been listening to the Thunder Down Under, the all-Aussie alternative and metal music showcase.
Fly a flag on your aerial.